Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I was afraid that I was on the wrong meeting or something.
No,
It's on it. Okay, well, that's good.
I borrowed one of the laptops from the library and trying to sign in on that, but it said I have an incorrect email or password. Because it asked for my email address, and I put my home address in there. I put in the password, and it wouldn't let me in.
Hi. So Steve, let me make sure I understand. You got a link from Tara
Yes.
and you clicked on it. You shouldn't have to put in your email. You should, if you already got the link through your email.
Hold on, let me see if I can get out of here. Start over again.
Okay.
I'm not very familiar with all this. Was it? All right, go back to Google Chrome. All right, I signed into Zoom, and then I go to Zoom sign in, right?
No. Did you did you go to your email? Can you look up your email on the web through that laptop?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
I've got the Stacy sent me the meeting ID and passcode here.
oh, she did, but that's for you to call in, right?
No, she said to use it to sign in here.
On the laptop?
Yeah. So just go to sign in.
Yeah, you just go to the link that you were sent and you just double click on it.
Huh. See, it's calling Google sign in. Use your Google account and ask for my email or phone again.
Did she send it to you by email?
To my home computer.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to get it over from your home computer to the laptop.
Oh, nobody told me that. See, my when I go to Google, which I use, it doesn't bring up the link to my email.
Okay, did you log into Google from the laptop?
Yes.
Okay, and you don't know the password to check your email on the laptop?
No.
Oh, well then you won't be able to get the link on the laptop if you can't log into the email.
Okay.
So I think
there's no place for me here to go to my email.
okay, well, in order for you to use the laptop to do the Zoom meeting, you have to be able to have email so that you can open the link Tara sent.
Well, I'll talk to you all by phone then.
Okay. All right.
I'm challenged with this stuff.
Hi, Tara. Hi, Stacy. I saw your email that you don't have the August minutes.
Yes.
So I'll have my staff scan them in and send them to you.
Okay. I must have had them and maybe I don't know. I just can't find them. I have so much email because of everything. It's
All right.
ridiculous.
I can't go back to my email doesn't save that far back. So
Okay.
I'll see if I can just scan them in.
Okay. It was you then? I wasn't sure if it was one of those times when Debbie might have done them.
I think it was.
Yeah, August might have been.
Yeah, because I know there was a meeting in the summer where Debbie did it.
Let me just check my calendar. Maybe I wasn't there then. Let me check. So it would be the August,
August 24th.
August 24th. I don't think so. I think
Okay.
Stacy,
Yes.
Big folder out.
I can't access my home email from this computer, so it's not going to let me in. So I got to get to you guys by phone again.
No, you can still get in. You just have to, are you near the laptop?
I'm sitting in front of it.
If you open the laptop and turn it on, is it all on?
Yeah, it's all on. I've got Google up, but it doesn't give me any place to go to my email.
Okay, well, you don't need to go to your email. Well, I can tell you what the login is. So go to Zoom.
Okay, hold on. All right, I signed into Zoom.
Okay, see how in the upper
Now.
right it says join a meeting?
Upper right. Is that the little person icon? It doesn't say join a meeting on here.
Let me just call it up so I can.
Okay.
Won't let me call it up because I'm in Zoom. If you go to the Zoom homepage, it should be up in the very top right-hand corner, join a meeting.
It's not.
It's in blue.
Hold on. Sign into Zoom. Okay, I did that. Join a meeting. Okay.
Okay, so
Click on that.
join a meeting. Yep.
So then I put in the meeting ID number.
Yep. You want me to read it to you?
I got it right here.
Okay.
Do I put spaces between it?
No, just one big long number.
Positive. His chief of staff, his body metal.
Stacy, what's
Yep.
the fax number at the library?
Oh, I don't have it memorized because we changed over to Ring Central and it's.
Oh, all right. I've got the
Wait, I might be able to get to it. Hold on.
All right.
Vice President campaign in Minnesota. And the president's chief of staff
Okay, we're here.
Hi, Mark.
We're just
Hi, guys. How's everybody?
Good.
getting Steve logged in. So once we do that, we'll kick off.
Okay, I hit launch meeting.
Okay, I found the fax number, Denise.
Hey.
It's 1-888-503-0689.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. I'll fax the minutes from August to you right now.
Perfect, thank you.
Stacy,
Yep,
I clicked on launch meeting and nothing happened.
nothing's happened.
No, below it says don't have Zoom client installed, ? Install now or download now.
Yeah,
Have issues with.
say install now. It should have been on there, but.
All right, I clicked download now and nothing's happening.
Okay. Well, are you okay with the call-in, Steve?
Yeah,
I mean, I
hold
don't
on.
know.
It's
That's weird that it's not letting you do it. There might
all
be,
right. Now it says installing Zoom.
Okay.
Oh, good.
just taking a minute.
Sorry to be a pain.
That's
No.
all right.
No, it's not a problem.
Fine.
I'm glad that you have a
And-
computer to do this on now.
Yeah.
Well, luckily they were contributed to the library, and I can borrow one, and still
Right.
nothing's happened.
It shouldn't take very long there, Steve.
Please enter your meeting passcode. Okay, hold on.
Oh, that's,
Ah, there I am. I can see me.
We can't see you yet, though.
Yeah, you might have to turn your, oh,
Oh, hold on. Yep, now I'm on a big screen.
there you are.
Yay. There you
Oh,
are.
okay.
We see you.
We see you.
All
See?
right, now I gotta.
Awesome. I forgot what you look like.
Wait, where are you? I don't see you.
I don't see you either.
All right, you have to be in the gallery
Oh.
view.
Oh,
Brady Bunch
Damn it.
view.
oh, wow. I see you. Okay.
Well, I lost you guys.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
well, we can
We don't
still
lose
see
you.
you. Up in the right-hand corner, is there a gallery or full screen?
Now something come up. Already joined. Okay. I guess I can click out of that. So there's 4 of us here, right? No, there's Mert,
how do you do?
There's 12.
but I can't hear. I can't. Hello, Tara.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi,
Hal.
Steve.
Now I still may have to use this because I got no sound coming out of the computer. And I got the sound turned up all the way.
Do you have it unmuted? Do you see the little microphone in the lower left corner? If there's a red line through it, you need to click on it.
Lower left corner. I don't have a microphone.
It-
Ask you. No.
When we look at his name, it doesn't show the symbol like it does on other people's. So,
Yeah.
so I'm
Oh.
assuming he's unmuted. It's
Well,
just,
you
you have
might
to
want-
join, you have to join with computer audio, and you may not have done that.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I can use my phone. At least I'll see you guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It
think it's
works.
good.
We can hear you and see you.
Yes.
Speakerphone,
Hello.
you don't have to hold it to your head.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
okay.
Okay, so 6:38. We'll go ahead and kick off our meeting. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. Let's see here. So to start off, we have our special guest, Kim Leonard, our town supervisor, joining us
Special
tonight.
guest. Hi, everybody.
Um,
Special guest is a little strange.
So we just wanted to talk about the health and dental reconciliation. I know Kim's been going through the books for quite some years now and trying to make heads and tails. And so we're just trying to firm up some of the paperwork and make sure that we are on point with where we should be with paying the town, and maybe get some organization where the town and the library can look at one another's files and be on point with one another. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and present my screen. Where is my, Steve, where do I share my screen at? Stop video. Pause, close. Sorry. I'm not seeing, I don't have a share screen on here.
Usually, for me anyways, you move your mouse towards the bottom and then it shows
Yep.
up on the bottom.
I know, and I'm not
It's
getting,
green. Do you
I think
see
it's
like
green.
cat?
Yeah.
no.
No. Do you see
Oh, here I got it.
you
I got
got
it.
it? Okay.
Yeah, it was up in up somewhere else. So, okay. So here is a file that Kim had sent over. And it looks like Stacy and Julia have some monies that are deducted out of their health insurance, or excuse me, paychecks for health insurance and dental. And I wanted to go over, and I don't know, Chris, if you have your spreadsheet readily available. But I guess I just want to make sure that Kim's numbers match ours. And that we have the right money.
We did reconcile Tara, we did reconcile 2018 because I got a copy of that canceled check. So that one's all good.
Perfect. Yep, which is up
Yep.
here. Yep.
Mhm.
So we're good there. So the question is coming from 2019 for in dental. And then of course, this year, 2020, which we haven't been billed yet.
No, not at all. And just to clarify, it's the town books that we are going through. It's not the library books.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tara, I have my spreadsheet. I don't know if you want me to share things, but I think the simplest way that I can explain it is that the total premiums that were incurred by the town and paid by the town on behalf of the library. So for both the health and dental for both Stacy and Julia totaled, a little over $72,000. And the library paid, $30,214.33. So the amount that we owe still is at $41,832. So there are a lot of numbers on these spreadsheets, and there are a lot of the town gives a stipend to the library to cover health insurance, and there are amounts withheld from employees and all of that. But as far as getting to the crux of what the library owes the town, I agree with the number that Kim has come up with, that, I didn't look at Excelis invoices or premiums paid by the town. I didn't audit those things or anything, but, looking at the total health premiums paid by the town for both 2019 and 2020, add in those dental the dental premiums paid by the town, and then just subtract what the library has paid, which does agree to our records to the penny. And
No,
you're
it
left with
doesn't. It does not. So if you look at our records, for Julia in 2019, we paid $15,974.30. And the total payments were $29,637.86. The number for 2019 that the town allocated for health insurance benefits wasn't the same number that was in Kim's spreadsheet. And I found that number on the memo of a check issued by the town in 2019.
Hey,
So,
Stacy,
yeah.
I think that, so on Kim's spreadsheet, she's not talking about it wouldn't be what the town paid to the library.
There's no
She's talking
budget
about
items.
She's talking about the premiums that the town paid to Excelis. So Macedon Library didn't get that check. She's talking about the premiums that were paid.
The
And
actual
then-
bills.
And then the 30,214 agrees to the 4 payments that were made in 2019, like per the check register. So those were payments made by the library to the town. Those 4 quarterly payments totaled 30,214.
That's not the number I came up with. And I used the checks. I came up with the 29,738.
So you just had 4 of them?
Yeah. Plus the dental was separate and that didn't come till, well, almost August, the very tail end of July. Julia signed up for that.
Oh, yeah, I see.
And we paid the dental because it was lumped in with the health insurance. So that may be why you come up with a different number, because I have access to the actual invoices and Julia's dental was lumped into 2 separate invoices. And it
So
was
that-
576, I think, something. I could
So,
look it up.
but if you add up all 4 of those payments, it comes to the 30,214, whether that includes health insurance, dental or not. The
Correct.
library paid 30,214.33 during 2019 to the town related to these benefits. So whether that's health, dental, or all health, no dental, that's the amount that was paid out to the town for these benefits.
And please look at the attached spreadsheets because I put in actually the actual invoices from each month for both dental and health insurance. And I think one of the areas might be that Julia changed to a family plan in September.
Yes.
So I've never seen a check for dental, and that's probably the town's fault for not billing it, but 100% is paid by the employee.
Right, and we paid
And-
that. I have the invoice and I sent it to you. And I
I know.
sent you the check and I have the canceled check as well.
Okay,
Well,
well, if you look at my spreadsheet, please, I actually agree with you to the penny, and it's 31,178.32.
So Stacy, that's in
These
that
are the
case,
bills.
that would mean that we underpaid on health insurance and that would, if we paid the dental, if some of one of our payments should have been allocated to dental, that means that we paid less on the health insurance side.
Right.
So we've only paid to the town, like cash has only left Macedon Library for 30,214.33. Those are the amounts that left the checking account.
And again, I have the receipts and the quarters listed with the dates and the amounts which match with you, Stacy.
I have the date.
Okay.
Yeah, I have actual check numbers too.
Yeah, okay.
But the
So I'm just-
allocation from the town
It
was
doesn't
for,
matter.
It doesn't
20
matter, Stacy.
it doesn't matter because that's
No.
what the check memo said.
No, it doesn't matter because that's the budget. It's not the actual
Yeah,
billing.
yeah. It doesn't matter, Stacy. So according to, Chris, we paid out the 30,214. We really owed the 31,178. And so there's a delta that we owe. Then you add to this year's amount, which obviously we haven't paid anything yet.
Right.
And I think if you scroll down, Tara's, there's a number at the bottom down there, the total. Yeah. The 41,832 is essentially what we owe.
So
that correct?
So
Yes.
exactly, that's what I have. So even Stacy, even if you say that even if the 576, let's say for 2019, if we say that that's paid.
It
that
is paid.
mean- Okay, then that means that we didn't pay, that not all of the $30,214 is for health insurance.
No,
Right.
because for health insurance, we only owed $29,637.80. Mine
do you
was
say that?
13,663.56. Julia's was 15,974.30.
Are those per the Excelis premiums the town paid?
No,
That's where that comes from.
Stacy, Julia changed to a family, so her premium
And
was total.
I included that and she didn't change till near the end of the year.
Correct, and her total premiums for the year, and attached, I have a spreadsheet for everyone to see, January through December, right off the Excelis bills, and the total for Julia is 17,514.76 for health insurance. Stacy is 13,663.56. It's on your attached spreadsheet. I sent 2 papers. It's
Yeah,
very
but
clear.
the invoice I was given from the town, if you total the invoices I actually received from the town, there's a discrepancy and I don't understand why the roughly $2,000 discrepancy.
I'm assuming that the town wasn't doing their billing properly, but that should not affect the amount the library owes to the town for my review.
So
Yeah,
do
I
we
mean,
have an invoice?
she's reconciling, Stacy,
Yeah.
and obviously, there was clearly, some sort of error somewheres.
So
We're
do we
going
have
back
any
to
invoices
reconciling.
from Excelis Blue Cross to
She
show
has
I
them.
that?
actually have them
Yeah,
on
that's
the
what she
attached
has.
listing by month for each one of you for 18, 19, and 20.
Yeah, that's your spreadsheet, but do
No,
we have
that's the
anything?
Excelis billing. I can copy the bills, and on my first memo, I said I'd be more than willing to share them with you. Just have somebody come over and look at them if you don't trust me, because all of the employees are on there, so I can't just put it up on the,
All right, so,
Online.
so Julia actually owed 17,514.76.
yes.
All right,
And please look at the spreadsheet, because her premium went up to 2679.11 in September, because she must have joined in August and it didn't catch up until September with Excelis billings.
right. And we were withdrawing the appropriate amount because
Oh,
I
I'm not
checked.
saying you weren't. I'm just saying the town didn't bill you the proper amount.
So the town didn't bill us, so that's the rub.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
I'm reconciling
Well,
the
that's-
town books. It has nothing to do with the library.
So that's what messed me up because the thing I was given said a different number. So I just was like, what is happening?
Yeah, she's
Right.
going,
Okay.
she's going off the actual Excelis, so.
Correct.
So this is the reconciliation that there was a difference, and,
Yep.
you know, we obviously owe it, and that's what we'll resolve here, so.
Perfect.
And also, I just want to make sure that moving forward, that, you know, our books are clear. And Kim, if you ever had to look at anything, or we had to go back on Chris's spreadsheet, like, are we good there? Is everybody on point and we
I
don't
haven't
have to
seen what,
adjust anything?
okay, I haven't seen what your 2020 is, but I did attach it. So Chris should probably see that. And it actually has, like I said, January through December's billings for the actual, these are the actual invoices from Excelis for Stacy and Julia. And then the other is dental.
Yeah, the
I saw 'em.
2020
I saw them.
stuff is perfect based on what I was told at the end of 2019, we would need
Okay.
to. So that squares perfectly.
Okay. Yep.
I don't know what
that-
happened the year before.
Well, I'm
I
sure
think,
it's
I
what
think it was,
Julia
I think the year
changed to a
before was
family.
just a difference between the billing, a difference between what the town billed and what
The
town
family.
billed different than what was actually
Right.
being incurred by the town. And that's why this reconciliation took place. And
Yep.
so
I
that.
really
so
think it
came-
has to do with Julia changing to a family plan in August, but
Right.
So
Well, yeah,
That's
they
all.
must have figured that out wrong because they did invoice for an increase, but it must be that the increase was not figured out correctly.
well, if you look at my attached spreadsheet, it has January through December each year, every month of the Excelis premium. It's right off of the Excelis bill.
Okay.
And it didn't hit Julia until September of 2019. So she must have filled out the application because January through August, it was the same amount, and then it
Right.
changes to a family plan.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she started getting the insurance until November.
Nope, it's August something, according to
Oh.
the Excelis people.
So maybe the window might have predated when she did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
So
that-
you're locked in.
Mhm. And what I'm guessing is because she joined dental at the same time,
Yeah.
I think that's when she changed to the family. Because she was never on dental, neither were you. So until August or September of 2019, that's when she joined dental.
Yep. I know that's right. Yep.
Yeah, so she must have done them at the same time when she applied.
But
So,
do
so
you
now that
think
we have, so now that we have the, you know, understanding, we have the number,
Mhm.
to move forward, I assume the town now is going to invoice us for what we think that we agreed upon that balance is, or how do we,
This
Wait a
this
minute.
is my actual invoice right here
oh, okay,
for the
What about-
2020, and you'll be paid through December 31st of 2020.
okay.
What about the family dental policy one? We paid that. We paid $576.49. It was lumped into one of the invoices. near the
Correct,
end
and
of
your
the
health
year.
insurance was underpaid, just as Chris said.
Right, but we don't have to, because the $576.49 is in the column for something we owe, but we paid it.
No,
On the spreadsheet I'm looking at
I'm
it.
talking totals. I'm not talking individual invoices.
Yeah, so Stacy, if you just take the total premiums paid by the town, you have the $72,000. and then you subtract from that what the library has paid to the town, that 30,214, you're
Mhm.
left with the 41,832. So that's
Okay.
like the easiest way to look at it is just what the town incurred. So they sell us health insurance paid by the town for MPL for both 2019 and 2020, including the
Mhm.
dental. If you add all of those up, you get $72,000, and you subtract out what the library has paid, which is just the 30,214. You're left with the 41,832.
Okay.
I don't think there's, and there might be, there might be differences between those, how that 30,214 should be applied, whether that some of that should be applied to dental versus health insurance, however you want to slice it. The bottom line is that the library owes the town 41,832.
Okay. So do we want to make a motion to add that to the abstract?
I'm not in any hurry for it. If you don't have it on there, that's no big deal.
Well, just, it's easier to get it taken care of.
Okay, and just Stacy, so you understand, like, it's not really the library expense because Julia pays 100% out of her paycheck for her dental.
Right.
So it's not coming out of the amount that the
Right.
town gives to the library.
No, you're exactly right.
Okay,
That's a really good point, Kim, because we have about $7,700 in withholding so far that we've withheld
Right.
from you and Julia. So that's just sitting there as right now it's like a negative expense. So that just has
Right.
to go to that offsets some of this significantly.
right.
Plus we did budget for for that
Mhm.
for
Right.
this. So we just
That's
been
where the
waiting for the
80-20 split
invoice.
shows, Chris. So we match exactly on that 77, 63, 23. Yep.
Yep.
Perfect.
So I make a motion that we add the health bill from the town of 41,832.52 to our abstract.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Who's in? Did somebody say nay?
No.
Oh. Margaret Alec.
And for
Great.
future reference, I'm going to do the billing each month like we used to do. And that way, when the town pays it out, the library would pay the town. So I'll give you an annual invoice with the breakdown like I did. And then you can just make up vouchers for each month because I don't believe it'll change
No.
unless either one of you change your policies.
Right. Yeah, I'd like that better. I think.
Yeah, we
Thank
haven't
you.
seen the invoices yet, but it's supposed to go up 8.3%. But I checked with the amount that we're giving you for health insurance, and that's still within your range for the 80%.
Okay.
That'd make it a lot easier, Kim. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is very confusing, let me tell you. This is only one number of about 1,000 accounts I'm trying to do.
I don't
So
know how
thank
you do
I
it.
appreciate it. I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to the meeting to talk to us in
sure.
person.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank
And
you.
Bruce is very good about bringing your stuff back to the town, so we always know what's going on.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Paint swatches and all.
We're very happy to have him.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna jump to my agenda. Okay, so health and dental, we're good. And I'm glad Kim brought up that we're gonna do the monthly billing because I was just gonna bring that up. All right, and then I guess while we're actually, while we're going, I'll let Chris and Gary segue into the financials, because then if you guys have to cut out early, you can. And then we can go on to approving our minutes and things like that.
Okay.
All right, well, I will, Gary, do you want me to jump in with the regular report?
All yours.
Okay. I will try to share my screen.
You look like you lost weight.
Me? Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. I think Zoom takes away 10 pounds.
I wish.
Everybody likes that.
Pretty sure I found whatever Chris lost.
Yeah.
Me too.
But thanks, Steve. It's the background, it makes it. So I think what we have here is it's a pretty consistent story with what's been with what we've been uh, going over for the past few months, 6 months or so. From the revenue side of things, budgeted was about $323,000 through September. We're about 315 right now. We are almost spot on for tax-based revenue. That'll even out, I think, by the end of the year. I think there are just some things that were budgeted to be received throughout the year, but I think we've already received most of everything by now. Uh, Fines, clearly we made this budget before COVID. Same things with the miscellaneous revenue. We made that made that budget based on a lot of activity and a lot of foot traffic in the library, and now we don't really have any. But that being said, Stacy continues to do a really great job with gifts and grants. So, I mean, even being that close in the current environment, I think kudos to you, Stacy, for always finding ways to get to get grants coming in for what the library is doing, and for whatever the library is doing. I think that's great. So overall, we're a little bit under budget from the revenue side of things, but then on expenses, we are significantly under budget. I think there might be a typo in there. There is, I'm sorry. We are very under budget on the expense side of things because salaries are under budget. They are under budget by about $57,000 and benefits are under budget by about $59,000. The contractual are not that far under budget though. I'm going to share a different PDF really quick that shows actual. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just wondering with the salaries are we under budget because we worked hard given that we knew that COVID was going to be a strain to, I use we loosely, sorry, Stacy, to conserve on staff? Or are we under budget because, just because staff haven't worked because of COVID?
We're under budget because we were conserving. We didn't, we have the 2 people we have to retain for medical reasons under the law,
Right.
but they don't work very many hours.
Okay. Okay.
Between the 2 of them, I think it's 6 hours a week.
Okay.
They used to get a lot more hours. And I was told not to hire another person.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a lot. It's just a whole bunch of things.
Okay.
Well, we were
Thank you.
closed too for what? How many months?
But we were still paying
Yeah, right,
salary.
Right. But we
Yeah.
reduced hours, so.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. On the benefit side of things, we are very under budget. The biggest reason there is that health insurance line. So you'll see right on the screen that I'm showing that $36,000 was budgeted, and we actually have a negative $6,732 because we have some withholdings that we have from employees, and we haven't had any payments to the town in 2020. So that will correct itself next month based on the previous discussion. The rest of contractual, it is under budget by about $25,000. The biggest pieces of that are things like copier and some supplies and media and books, because there were fewer needs in the current year. So we're definitely under budget there too. So overall, you compare your total expenses budgeted 328,000. I guess I didn't have a typo. I just thought I did. I couldn't believe that we were that far under budget. I thought I was going insane. But so we're $145,000 under budget on the expense side of things. So operating income, we were budgeting a $6,000 loss through September, and we're actually at net income through September of $132,000. Now again, $40,000 is going to come right off the top as soon as we write that check to the town. But still, you're looking at about $100,000 compared to $6,000. So it's almost $100,000 swing from budget versus actual, and the vast majority of that is in payroll costs and just reduced operations because of COVID. I don't think that's I don't think that 2020 is going to be a very good year to use for benchmarking or using for budgeting or purposes for any kind of future year. This is not a year that is going to be useful for any other year, because this is not what anybody wants. This is not what it, I think while the bottom line looks positive, operationally, it's not what we want it to be. Stacy doesn't want to have it look this way. She wants to be able to have more programming, have the need to buy more materials, have the traffic coming in, for sure. So it's definitely not a badge of, it's not an accomplishment at all to be showing $132,000 bottom line. I think that's a sign of COVID and what happens when you don't have operations, and it just kind of stops.
So, in Chris, in doing
Yeah.
the budget going forward, we just not take this year into consideration?
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much.
I mean, unless all these restrictions that we've got in place continue all through next year, and we
Yeah,
won't know
so-
that for.
Yeah, I think that's where that's where some of the not hiring additional people and not filling those positions that we had turnover in, that's where that theory came from, that that would have eaten away at some of that $132,000, which would have been fine. It's not like we need that money to, we don't need to have that for any specific reason. But the risk is, in this current environment, and given the state and town and county funding and bank balances, that we could have some risk that we wouldn't get funded fully in future years, and we might need that $132,000 for the future. So
keep in mind, Chris, we got that bill we just talked about. That's
well,
going to
that's
come
right.
out.
So it's really only 100,000.
So don't be thinking 132. We just lost. We're literally 41,000 coming out of that. So
right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we're about 100. We're about 92,000 in actuality.
right. Yep. Exactly.
and the year's not over with, and Stacy has been, trying to buy materials, and some of these areas that were down, she's been, so there's still things going on, but there's no question that we're, in the positive. It's just how much we'll see as the year progresses, obviously.
I think
a lot of, keep in mind too, we got some guidance too from Bruce, when we were talking about hiring more people and stuff, Bruce, had asked us, could you guys, not, consider some of these things and look for ways to cut. So we took some lead too from the town to kind of try to watch some of our spending. And so that we were definitely doing some of that too.
Yeah, that's a good point, Gary. And I think too, across the board, what all organizations are feeling is a lot of uncertainty for when things do get back to normal. What is going to happen? What needs are people going to have? How are people maybe who work in different ways, different locations, are people going to need the library more? Maybe they don't have offices anymore. Maybe people are going to, who knows how people are going to come out of the woodwork and need to use certain services. And we might find that we need to use that money quickly for programming purposes for the community. So there might be a lot of opportunities in the coming year, and not just opportunities, but serious needs that the library needs to fill, for the community. So I think that it is not bad to have access to those funds. And I'm not really thinking of it in to say that we're going to take $92,000, put it in our reserve, and never touch it again. I really.
Well, part of that will be gone by the end of the year.
Right. True. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And I think that realistically, my conservative or pessimistic view is that over the next year or so, that's going to be used up because of COVID-related economic impacts. So.
Well, the PPE will be one impact for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. Yep, that's a perfect example. So.
May I interject for just a second?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to remind, I'm sure you guys haven't thought of this because I wasn't thinking of it when I was putting the town together, but our annual retirement bill is due December 15th. So that will be hitting you as one cost as well.
Yeah,
So it always
That'll be
kind of
what?
varies kind of muddies the monthly expenses. But
right.
that's due on or before December 15th. So I honestly don't know what that will be yet, but they're going to be sending it to me. So I'll let you know.
You'll probably be around 17-ish, I think.
Yeah,
I
we're
honestly
under
haven't seen
budget.
any.
That's one of the things that we're under budget on too. So that'll even out too.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks, Kim.
Okay.
Isn't there 10, 10, 15?
hmm
Yeah.
I
so
can't think of anything else on the town side. So
any
Great.
questions at all on how things are going, how to look at these things? Okay. Pretty straightforward. All right.
I think we're good.
Yeah,
All right.
looks good to me.
Thank you. Thank you so
Oh, yeah.
much.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh, you're welcome.
Let's see here. Okay, so while we're talking about bills and everything, did we get 3 members in to sign off on the bills for, where are we, October, September?
I probably didn't remember to ask people at the last meeting. I'm sorry to do it.
I was in, so I know I signed off.
Just
Um,
one. You're the only one. You're the only one who did.
Oh, okay. So I will ask, I guess well, we can't make a motion. Well, we can make a motion to pay the monthly bills like we have been doing through our Zoom meeting. So if I could ask somebody to go ahead and approve.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. And all in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
I can be in on Wednesday to sign the bills.
Thank you.
If you need more, we can be in on tomorrow.
Great, thank you. And so just a reminder, for next month, we will need folks to stop in and review those and sign off. So Stacy, can you read off the beginning check and the final check and then the totals?
Yeah. So voucher number 127 through 137. The total is $46,824.46.
We have to include what we just going to pay the town, right?
I did.
Oh, that's in there.
Yep.
She's on the ball.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right, let's see here. Let's see, and did we get the minutes from September? I don't think I saw them.
Yeah, I sent them out about
Yep.
last week.
Yeah.
I apologize. All the emails.
They're on our website already. Oh, I think they should be. See if they may not show up yet because I was waiting for the other ones. It's hard now. They changed the website and it's hard to update it with the minutes. So I kind of have it waiting. So
So Denise did send them out, and I'm willing to make the
Yeah.
motion to approve them.
Yep.
Tara, you can just abstain if you didn't see them.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve last month's minutes.
Second.
All right, and all in favor?
Aye.
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 And I will abstain because I apologize, I did miss those.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The Stacy's director's report. Questions, comments?
I have a comment, Stacy. I thought your handling of the couple that wouldn't wear a mask was great. I looked at your policies for dealing with people who don't do that. I thought they were good. Calling the police, I think, was a good idea. And kudos to that officer, even though he gave him misinformation. He said it's a private property, and of course it's public library, but it kind of made him leave. So I thought that was good handling.
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, the way you handled everything, and luckily nothing more came out of it. Sounds like they were
Yes.
trying to make a big deal out of
Yeah.
something ridiculous, but yeah, great job.
Yep.
Holding the personal protest at the library, I guess.
Well,
And at
apparently
Walmart.
they hit some other places too after us
Yeah.
Making their rounds.
making their rounds, but it worked out.
And congratulations and thank you so much for the Delavan. Is that, am I saying?
Delavan?
Delavan Foundation with the $10,000.
Yep.
That's amazing. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
You're welcome.
Good job.
It'll
Thank
help
you.
with the PPE.
Yeah.
And it'll help to get hotspots into people's hands if they, you know, don't have internet in the home.
I think that's so wonderful. Especially now when we have all the laptops, but if somebody doesn't have a hotspot, it's not going to
Yeah.
help them. That's wonderful.
Right. And I think I have enough to buy some cases too. What?
What do the hotspots cost?
I'd have to look it up off the top of my head, but I have more than enough to get them.
So how would you make people aware that we, you know, for those folks that would be in a situation where they might need something like that?
Well, part of the grant stipulation was I've collaborated with Literacy Volunteers of Wayne County. So they're going to help me to identify people that would be in need.
Oh, good.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Perfect. That's exciting.
Yeah.
You know, that's the kind of thing that I also think could use a press release or something. You know, I mean, I just think it's really a nice, wonderful thing to do, and it's along the lines of the things that you do all the time. And I just don't know that people are always aware of that.
Well, I will do a press release. I just want to wait till all my ducks are in a row before otherwise
Okay.
people might get excited and then they come in and it's like, well, we don't have them yet.
Yeah, no, I completely, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
The other thing
especially
too,
the,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, especially the working with the literacy volunteers. I think that's a really nice piece.
Yeah.
And maybe getting back, I don't know if it makes sense or not, to the folks from Spectrum with the, you know, that let us, you know, that we got the computers through. Would they want to, you know, be acknowledged again or somehow within that, you know, between the two things, that's what's really making this happen.
Right. Yep.
You know, the putting something even on the website, like thanks to a generous donation, you know, or that's the kind of thing that people really appreciate, and then it's there all the time.
Right.
Yeah. Good suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other questions, comments about the director's report? All right. Bruce.
Our numbers are really good. I just want to point out, out of 42 libraries, we're in 4th place. So the only places circulating more materials right now would be Canandaigua, Victor, and Geneva.
Sure.
We have the highest circ in Wayne
Wow.
County, including Newark, because they're quite a bit bigger.
Yeah.
And
So we're doing really well.
That's great. I don't know if this was somewhere's on the agenda or not, but Stacy recently received an award.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had that on the agenda already. Or not.
I did not. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I did not.
That's okay.
So thank you. Yeah.
So Stacy, tell them about it.
What is it called again? Versus Zoom?
It was a Zoom, yeah.
First Zoomer or something.
Yeah.
Because we were the first ones in the system to hop on board and Zoom.
Oh, really?
Remember you had to quarantine me because my daughter went on a cruise. And we didn't know if she'd come back and have COVID. So and then while I was quarantined, like everything happened and we had to close anyway. Remember?
Right. Oh my
So-
gosh, it seems like that was forever ago.
I know. Well, I was busy trying to figure out what we'd do because I could kind of tell it was going to go that way. And so we were really fast with Zoom.
So who did you get the award from?
I don't know who nominated me.
No, but who gave it to
Pioneer
you?
Library System.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
They have these little owl statues, you know, the owl
Oh,
system.
cute.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, great.
And,
Well, that's hilarious.
and the Friends got an award
The
too.
Friends got one too. Maybe Shirley wants to talk about the Friends Award.
Except I really don't know about it because I was at the,
Oh, that's right.
Class.
You're learning Microsoft Word stuff. So the Friends got the Friendliest Friends Around award because
Oh,
when a lot of friends were kind of just like, well, I guess there's not anything we can do. Our friends were like busy planning and doing all kinds of fundraising work behind the scenes, and they didn't
amazing.
stop on the grants, like the spring grant that they do. They didn't just take it easy and wait. They still, managed to do that. So yeah.
Stacy,
busy
can you send that to the
bees.
town?
What?
Can you send that over to the town board?
Sure.
It should be acknowledged at a town board meeting. You and the Friends getting an award. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay.
Our meeting is going to be, well, it's a budget meeting, November 5th, so I don't know if we'll have time to do anything other than the budget.
I just have to preface with that.
Yeah. But I will announce it. That's great.
Yeah. It was fun.
Great work. Thank you all so much. That's amazing. All right, Bruce. Any updates, any feedback from the budget hearing?
I hope everyone over there enjoyed not having to attend the budget meeting this year, right? Was that a relaxing evening for you, I hope? You're
I
at
have
home on
to
your
teach on
couches,
Thursday nights. I
watching
can't attend.
TV. So,
We were thinking of you.
yeah, so the library's budget was accepted. Nice work all. The only thing that changed was from last year was just down $1,800. That's because we had added the $1,800 to the painting of the community room. And then with Kim and Dave Mall's help, we calculated the increased insurance costs based on what estimates from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. So that's going up, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Kim, but 5%.
8.3.
8.3%.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Actually, that's very low. It's usually double digits, so I was shocked with COVID.
If I do the 8.3% on the amounts we're paying now, should I be in good shape for the payments we'll need to make, or should I wait?
Nope, you should be fine. Just remember the 20% comes out of the checks, and that's what we were going by. So you'll have enough for your 9060.8.
So that's it on my end. Nice work all.
Great. Yeah, good job. Congratulations, Gary. First year in and huge success. And didn't have to
Pandemic.
pandemic. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it. Holy cow.
Teamwork.
What a great time to jump in.
Yeah, right. I think he was shoved in. I don't know if he jumped. Pretty much stuck him in there. All right. Let's see. Our friends liaison. Shirley, what you got? You guys have been busy.
So first of all, the executive committee continues to communicate via email and phone calls. So we're still working behind the scenes. The chicken barbecue, obviously, I think you've all received the email that there was a $900 profit. And so thank you to all who worked, sold tickets, and purchased dinners. So that was a great success. We're currently having the Bountiful Basket raffles. All those items were donated, so whatever we make in tickets is pure profit so that we can help the library. The price is $2 a ticket or 3 for $5, and each basket is worth a little bit over $100. Also, the Friends is having a pop-up book sale to the left of the desk. And then Stacy had called to say, oh, patrons are donating food to the food pantry and the shelf is getting filled, which I didn't realize they were still doing. So we are picking them up. So Stacy, just call us, just shoot me an email when it's filled, and my husband and I will come down and then deliver it to the food pantry. So thank you to all the patrons who continue to contribute for the food pantry.
Well, thank you for doing that. That's so more important now than ever.
Yeah.
So that's really it.
Great. Well, thank you and everyone for all the efforts.
Are the tickets for the baskets available at the library?
Yep.
Yes, they are. And the drawing will be November 20th.
Okay.
So if you don't want some of the things, you might be able to use it towards purchasing Christmas gifts, holiday gifts. So that's another possibility. But there's, Flaherty's, Wayside, McDonald's, Parkwood, Coffee.
Car wash.
Yeah, there are car washes. So
Pretty good variety.
Yeah, I guess.
Something for everyone.
I'll take the Wayside one. I'll put all my tickets in that one.
I was going to do that. But just a heads up, Tara.
Okay.
We collected and went to the businesses in the spring. And then because of COVID, we couldn't have the spring raffle.
Yeah.
So the Wayside gift certificates will expire at the end of this year. So you need to use them.
Oh, yeah. That'll be key to point out whoever wins that one.
For the two Wayside, unfortunately. And then we still have donated items for the spring.
Great.
So we didn't use them all for the fall. We held some for spring.
Oh, good. Good. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Next was, the 990 1 and 2. Everybody received Stacy's email to please review. I'm trusting everybody had a chance to. And are there any questions, concerns?
No questions.
All right.
Exciting reading, huh?
Exciting, yeah. Real light reading.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff Kim likes to read, all those numbers, lines. All right, well, if no questions, concerns, if I could get someone to make a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right, all in
Approve the
favor?
990.
Aye.
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 Beautiful. We did the meeting minutes, and that is all I had. I had a super light agenda. Is there anything anybody has to add? Go ahead.
Did you have anything about the sick time
Sick
policy?
I didn't.
Oh, because we have to, remember last time that got tabled because the law changed?
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't.
Oh, you weren't here, but do
Yeah.
other people who were remember?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I did read them.
Yep, I did.
I
too.
had some questions.
Sure.
Let me see. I have to get to it. Too many things open on my oh no, I had some questions about the sexual harassment policy, not about the sick
Oh.
policy, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that was the next one.
Yeah.
So I'll make a
Anybody have
motion
any-
to approve the sick policy. Sick leave
I'll
policy.
second it.
That Mark second.
I'll second it.
Okay. And then all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
All right.
Sexual harassment?
Yeah, so a couple of questions. The let's see, on page yeah, it doesn't have page number on it. So I think we probably should page number, but page 4, it says an employee who feels harassed should report so that any violation of this policy can be corrected promptly. So my one thought about that, and I don't know, I can't recall if this came straight from from an example from the Pioneer Library, but so feeling harassed is different than there actually being a harassment. And so that one thought was that it might not be corrected promptly, because there might not be something to correct, but there definitely should be something followed up on promptly. So that was one thought. And then it doesn't say who to report to, and I know it says it further down, but I thought it might be good to put that there. They're also under the examples of sexual harassment. I had a couple questions. First, does anybody in the library take any sexual harassment training, or is
Yeah, all of this, it's mandated. Everybody
Okay.
takes it once a year. We just completed
awesome?
in October.
And are we sure that this matches up with that perfectly with the
Yes,
training?
this was recommended by the sexual harassment training. It is
Okay.
actually pulled off the state website, New York State.
Okay, because I've taken 2 for 2 different organizations in the last like 3 weeks, and I could swear that there was that displaying pictures, posters could be considered sexual harassment, but it's not definite. And when it says examples of sexual harassment, that made me wonder. But I did wonder if we could also say the following described some of the types. I was wondering if we could say examples, but not limited to, rather than examples of some of the types, because I think it'd be important to make it clear that there could be others, but this isn't, because it couldn't be an exhaustive list.
I'm open to anything. I just pulled boilerplate from the state.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree with those adjustments. I think, the reporting too being added and the examples of not limited to would be a good idea.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so
do you want to send me the recommended changes?
Yeah,
Debbie?
absolutely. I'll just send you my edited version, and it
Perfect.
just has the 2 comments on it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I thought it looked fine.
Well, I didn't.
What about the corrected promptly? Are we going to change the language to something else?
I think I don't personally. I think it should be will be investigated or something like that, because I mean, again, it's that whole thing of just because it's reported doesn't necessarily mean that it should be corrected. I mean, I guess the trainings say that if you feel that way, there might be a reason. I don't know. It's really, it gets so tricky, but yeah.
Will be investigated.
I probably think that
promptly.
it may be investigated and corrected if necessary.
I like that. I think,
yeah, that's good.
Okay.
yeah.
Investigated promptly and corrected if necessary.
Yeah, I like that.
perfect.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed that, Stacy.
I should have reminded everybody, because that was something that we had dropped the ball on for the last meeting. So I knew we needed to do that for this meeting. So I apologize.
Not a big
Are
deal.
we going to suggest that section also include who to report to there, or just in the other section where it already exists?
Just in the other section where it already exists, but it doesn't say who to report to, right?
It does in the other section.
Yeah. So I think it's fine if it's in the other section. It seems like sort of it seems like it should say it there, and I can see why boilerplate wouldn't have it there, but
Add it.
yeah, I'll leave it there then. And I want to make sure I add did you take the note on the wording for for the investigating?
Will be investigated
Investigated.
promptly and corrected if necessary.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we'll make those adjustments and bring that back for next month. Send those out. Anything else, Stacy or anyone that I might have left off?
I have-
This is,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead, Stacy.
Well,
No,
no,
go
you
ahead.
go, Gary. Oh,
No, I was just gonna say one of the things that we had taken away at the past meeting on the audit was to come back with what some of the policies were that we were going to have reviewed in the audit. And Stacy and I, the meeting we had, I had an emergency coming up, and we didn't have our meeting, so it's in process.
Yeah. So I just wanted to let everybody know two things. One is that a library in our system that's not far from us has had a staff member come down with COVID.
Oh, boy.
And I just want to reiterate that if that should happen at the library, I strongly believe in what I think is in line with New York State Forward, that we would quarantine for 2 weeks and try to do virtual things until the 2 weeks passes, just to make sure that inadvertently nobody else on staff might have it. And then we don't want Macedon to be a hot spot for COVID.
Right.
So does everybody kind of feel like that would be an appropriate action to take if I were to find out somebody did test positively for COVID?
Well, would that be people who had contact or were working in the vicinity of that person, like the same shift at the
We're
same
so small that if 2 or 3 people are exposed to somebody with COVID, we're pretty much down for the count. We won't have enough people to run the library like we do anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, your hours would be drastically affected because you're running so lean as it is.
Right. So because I thought about that and I'm like, how would we even do it?
And if you're technically, you could be infected for 2 weeks before you even find out,
Right.
chances of two people overlapping in that time are pretty.
Yeah, apparently the staff member in the other library had been working at the library probably a few days before they realized. So hopefully,
But keep in mind, if you get it, there's a time frame as to when you're actually contagious, right? Rather than make a blanket decision here and now, I'd rather have an emergency board meeting if it happens, and have a discussion as to, what's the circumstances and what should we do based on that. I just feel kind of funny, like saying, oh, if somebody comes down, we're just going to shut down.
Right.
I get it. That may be the answer, but
right.
I'd rather understand, what's the circumstance that we're under, who's been exposed, or what do we know? You guys are doing a great job. Every time you come in the library, you give people can give their name so that they know that you can get contacted if there's an issue. And so I would just rather, my personal take is I'd rather deal with it as it comes on an individual situation based on what those circumstances are.
Okay. But so the plan is to have an emergency board meeting as soon as I find out, like within hours of finding out?
That's my suggestion. Others may not agree with me.
I'm okay with that. I just want to know what our protocol should be so that I, do the right thing if it should happen.
I think that's a good plan to have an emergency board meeting with information about the individual who had contact, when were they there, when were they diagnosed, all of that information.
Okay. Now, what if it's I'm sorry, Hal?
The issue is that people are infected before they get diagnosed. 2 or 3 days. And so we are we are chasing after the horse after the barn door is closed.
Right.
I would suggest also contacting the Wayne County Health Director, Diane Devlin.
Right.
She's got expertise in this. And just an FYI for you guys, there was a press release today that the DeMay Center in Newark had 61 people test positive, 47 residents and 17 workers. And it was, the base point was it was a worker, which is sad because now the residents, 47 of them are actually tested positive and 4 are in the hospital. And again, that is on the a press release. So
Kim,
I hate to
on
say-
the news today too.
Okay. I
Kim,
didn't know if they made it yet.
do you know if that's the reason for the high rates over the last few days, or are they
Yes,
okay?
there's
It's off
73.
the chart. It's off the chart.
Yeah,
The
and there's
rates compared
77
to.
cases, I believe, and it's 61 of them are just at DeMay
Yeah.
Center, which
Oh
is
my gosh.
really nasty. So Diane Devlin is wonderful to ask every question there is. She's been doing a great job.
Of the 61, are they all residents or is it a mix?
7 are residents and 14 are workers, and it was caused by a worker's exposure.
Oh, wow.
And 4 of the 47 have been hospitalized, unfortunately. So
Yeah, that's,
yeah, it stinks.
it does.
Comes from everywhere.
So should it be the same protocol if it should be a patron, like we get the call?
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've actually had
Absolutely.
somebody in the town, so I had to call Diane Devlin to find out what to do exactly. So
What did she have you do?
the person had to go home for 14 days. Luckily, it had happened over a weekend period, so they just did not come into work for 2 weeks. Again, and she gave
Contact
me
tracing
direction
is
of what to do.
important.
So.
And the contact tracing is important.
Yes,
Yeah.
very.
Stacy, related to
Yeah.
contact tracing, do we have any record of who's coming into the library, or only if they actually take something out?
No, if they come in, then we ask them, but if they strongly object, you can't make somebody, you can't, we just ran across this today. There was a patron that strongly objected to having her name or anything put on the paper. So we did not put it on because privacy. I don't know why, well, I do. I sort of understand why some people object, but in the bigger scope of things, I think it would be important to know if you were exposed.
Let me ask you a question. So the person came in, they wouldn't give their name, but you knew who they were?
Well, we always, if you check out anything, we we know who this person is.
Why wouldn't we just keep a list?
Privacy.
Is there,
Yeah, they were there. They were in a public place. Anybody could have noticed that.
but can you run reports if you did get a positive to say, these are the folks that checked out between X and Y dates?
We have, in most cases, yes. This was the first person that strongly objected to being on the list. Now,
But
if
they
the
happen
board
to take
wants-
something out, so you would have a record of their.
because we don't, the library system would not provide that to us, that kind
Uh-oh.
of recording because of privacy.
Oh.
But if the board wants to make a policy to state that all patrons must oblige by contact tracing, I mean, we're within our right to do that.
So,
Yeah, the
so
town
just let me
doesn't let anyone
clarify,
in.
let me clarify for everybody, at least my experience from having gone to the library. I get, what was happening is I would go to the desk or do something, take something out, return something, whatever. And I would be asked, not, would I like my name put on the list for contact tracing? I could easily say no, right? And one time I think I walked in and walked out. It was so quick. I threw it in the return slot and I walked out and never, they didn't even have a chance to ask me. Okay. So it's not like you guys are saying we need your name to put on this list for contact. You're being asked, and obviously this person said, no. But I think if even the way it's been asked to me, if I had said no, I don't think anybody would have given me a hard time.
Yeah, I will say in some of the places that I've been, it isn't, maybe it is just a verbiage, can I have your instead of may I?
Right.
you know, and because I know I've been directly asked, you know, what's your name as soon as I've walked in someplace. So maybe it's something simple like that.
Right. I don't know. I mean,
It's not that big of a deal if you've only had one in all of this time.
Right.
I don't mandate something unless we saw an uptick or an issue.
Right.
Personally.
I kind of agree with you. And plus it's kind of, it's a slippery slope for libraries because we're all about privacy.
Mhm.
And if somebody feels strongly that being on that list is violating their privacy, it's a hard call.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't mind seeing the words.
You know, they're in a public place, they
Yes.
can be seen.
Yeah.
Their attendance there isn't private, they're there, anybody can see them.
Yeah, but it's recorded. It's a difference. So this person's issue was she doesn't know what might happen. She doesn't want like the government to know where she is and when. And, you know, maybe we don't, you know, maybe people on the board might not agree with her perspective, but it is a perspective.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, I don't know. My personal opinion is if it became a bigger issue, maybe we would have that conversation. But
right.
To Gary's point, a simple verbiage change, you know,
Right.
and
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that it's a place that we want, you know, that I appreciate, you know, related to the masks especially, but in terms of what, you know, and how you handled that, but I'm in terms of somebody putting their name on a list, I certainly wouldn't want that to be a hill to die on, but I do think that if that seems to be a growing concern, that we might want to think about that, because it's not just a one-way thing, it's both ways, you know. So if that person keeps coming back and there were exposures, and somehow we needed to find out for some reason for everybody's safety, then, you know, then there's, if it grew, I guess is what I'm saying, to be more than like this one occasional thing.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
No,
I
go
agree
ahead.
with that. But I will say, you know, privacy, people have certain expectations of privacy in certain areas, like their homes, to a certain extent, in their cars. But once you step out of that car and you go in a public place, you know, certainly maybe putting your name on a list, or, you know, checking out library materials, that might be considered private, but just showing your face in public, you know, I don't think you're violating someone's right to privacy by saying, you know, I saw this person here at this time. I don't.
Stacy, you actually have every right to refuse that person to come in. But with it not being a big deal, I would suggest that you have a private list for anyone that does do that, so that you have it. But I would not let anyone in that refuses to sign.
Right. Well, they don't sign, we ask them. And that's because of privacy, so that everybody can't see everybody who's been in the library.
It is called the
and the way we've
Macedon
always,
Public Library. It is a public place.
Right.
There is no privacy involved when you go to the library. It is called the public library.
And again, God forbid, you know, the DeMay Center is just a great example of how quickly that was a matter of days.
And not for anything, to your earlier point, Stacy, I mean, you know, the majority of the people coming in, if you kept a private list.
Right.
oh, you mean we just, yeah, we could.
You
do
just
that.
make it, you can make a notation and, you know, keep it
Yeah,
somewhere that,
that's a good idea.
just so
They're there
that,
to
just
be
in case.
seen, and if you know them, yeah.
But I propose, Stacy, that you guys change the wording for when you do ask for the name, that it's more of a, you know, can I have your name for contact tracing, and just, you know, if they say no, that's one thing, but right now it was kind of like, would you like to give your name? It was definitely more loose. All right. And I think you just need to make it somehow a little bit, I need you, you know, can I please have your name, and like that you need to give it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I would maybe try that. And you're still, you know, you may get some resistance, but and again, keep a private list.
Yeah. Yeah. COVID trumps privacy in public places. That's for sure.
We need
I
to
do have
make
to-
a
I do have to-
motion about that.
Pardon?
Do we need to make a motion about that? That if they're not gonna give their name, that, I don't know.
I don't think it hurts.
I was just gonna say, it probably wouldn't hurt. Yeah,
All right. I'll make the motion.
all right.
I'll second it.
Entering the library who won't provide their name for contact tracing purposes will be denied entry. Can we do that?
Yes, you can. I just didn't know if you wanted to go that far, if it's only one case in a matter of,
Maybe not.
I'm not sure.
Well,
That's
you,
up to
you can
guys.
make the motion, I can second it, and then we can have discussion.
Okay, I'll make it.
I'll second it.
I might recommend we run this by Ron first.
Okay.
And
just to make
what's
sure.
so to see if he agrees we can do it, or if he thinks it's a good or bad idea?
Yeah.
To see if it's okay to do it this way.
So when you are asking the person for that information, it's usually as they're leaving, okay?
Mhm.
So if they tell you no at that point, what I'm hearing is part of this motion would be you then say to that person, if you don't give me your name for contract tracing, you are no longer allowed to come in the library. So is that what I'm hearing?
Or
That's what I'm hearing.
I didn't understand it was at the end.
It is at the end.
Oh, yeah, I didn't either.
To be honest,
I
it
wanted
should
to
be
make
done when they
it's
enter.
the last thing as
Yeah.
you're leaving.
it should be when they come in.
Yeah.
It should be when they enter.
Well, it isn't. It's at least, Stacy, am I incorrect? It's at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, then what if you miss them?
So
Well,
I'm
that's
trying to
what
be
it's
quiet,
Does anybody?
trying to be quiet because I'm only the liaison, but isn't it Wayne County Health's job to do the contact tracing? And if we're justifying taking someone's name because they go into a public place, then why aren't we doing it at CVS and Walmart, and
That's what
McDonald's?
this
And
person said. And I
Okay,
was
but
like,
again,
I don't,
they're
I
not-
mean, you're kind
they're not public
of
places.
creating a policy that stands out from other public places, I think.
No.
CVS is a private business.
Right.
You
What's
know,
that?
restaurants are private businesses. The public library is not a private entity.
And not
So
for
That gives you
anything.
the,
I
okay.
have gone into several establishments where I have been asked my name as soon as I walk in the door, including restaurants and.
I think
I
we
would
should ask
defer to Wayne
Ron,
County.
and he can probably find out the legalities of it because he has access to lawyers and
Again,
Just
I
to
would
make
suggest
sure
Wayne
that-
County Director, Diane
Yes.
Devlin.
Yeah, that's a good, yeah.
Take it out of your hands, so that way you got the person that's in charge of the entire county telling you what is okay and what's not.
Okay, so,
We'll put this on hold till the next meeting then.
Denise, do you want to withdraw your motion to, until,
Why don't we just put it, put it on hold?
Put it on
and
hold.
pick it up Next
can we
time?
do that? Okay.
Table it till next month.
And then, Stacy, I would reach out to Wayne County and Ron and make sure that they're both on the same page.
what if they're not?
Diane Devlin wins.
I was gonna say probably
Yep.
Wayne County probably would.
She
go.
wins every time.
Wins
She's-
every time.
Well, Newark Library's not closed. They weren't closed at all.
Again, I would call Diane Devlin. She's in charge of the COVID
He's
for
the
Wayne
one who told
County.
them not to close. I'm just saying.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. At
But
least you
yeah.
have somebody outside of you guys saying who gave you direction, and she's the expert right now in the county.
And every circumstance is different. That's the challenge.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, Lions a couple weeks ago they were having an uptick and now we're seeing it in Newark, and, Macedon and Newark could have two very different situations. So yeah, I would definitely reach out to her, Diane. So, okay, yeah, we'll
Thanks
put
for the
that on hold.
suggestions.
All right.
I do have to run, so I have something real quick I just want to share with you. I got a letter from Mr. Rubery today, brought to me. So I'm going to be sending this out to Tara and Bruce. And it talks about the Bullis Fund Advisory Board, and I'm assuming it's Jackie Croquet must be on it now. So he's asking for her to be redone for a 3-year term. And in addition to that, they have a Mrs. Bullis's retirement watch from the Gleason Works, and it's been appraised for $1,000. And he references the Bullis Fund would pay the cost of placing the watch in a secure case. So the Bullis Fund is all you guys. So I just want to make sure that you guys are on board with this and make sure it's okay. And that she's the person that you would like to see on your 3-year advisory list.
Sure.
So I'll send that, I'll email that over.
Okay.
He mailed it, so I can't just forward the email. I have to figure out how to get it on there. Exactly.
Kim,
Yes.
before you leave, I just wanted to say, based on the economic times, I know and I'm sure everybody else in the library board appreciates the consideration you gave us on our ask for the funding for the year.
You're welcome. They had no issue with it. I will tell you that the town of Macedon is getting 0% raises for 2021 for every single position. I'm just letting you know what happened at our board meeting. So it's a tough year.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you before you left.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I'll figure out how to scan this because I'm actually home with I'm handicapped right now, so I got to figure this out.
You can, I'll text you, Kim. You can actually do it from your phone.
I can.
Yeah. I'll
Oh, aren't
text.
you just do it? Okay. I learn something new every day. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Right.
All right. I'll see
Thank you for
guys.
joining tonight, Kim.
Very nice
Thank
meeting
you.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thanks.
Chris.
Thank
It's
you,
nice to
Kim.
meet you. Zoom.
Bye-bye.
Zoom down.
Okay. Good talk about the COVID stuff, and I agree, Bruce. Yeah, with the contact tracing and yeah, taking folks' names. It is a slippery scale, but I think we have to take the current situation into consideration too. So I think those are good points to reach out to the experts and kind of take our lead from them. So especially with the increase in Newark and being so close by and knowing folks are going in between, the local libraries and things like that. Better to be safe than sorry. So, all right. Any other topics, questions? Good. All right. If I could get someone to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make
So
that
moved there,
motion.
Tara.
All right. I'm sorry, who made that?
I did.
Hal, and second?
Mert,
Mert, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Have a great night, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye.
You. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
everyone take care.
Yeah, you too.